Previously from the Hood Blogger.
Right? They put in a lot of work before they got there. They got their respect in the streets, right?
Yeah.
But then you take that same, say he like 35 now, right?
Yeah.
And he like, I ain't doing that no more, right?
Hey yo, this SV Twiz, the Hood Blogger. Y'all know how I carry it. Shout out to everybody that been rocking with the content. I appreciate y'all. Salute to the new subs. I see y'all. If y'all new to the channel or you are a returning viewer and y'all ain't sub yet, what's the hold up, bro? Y'all jerking wreck. I gotta give y'all this story, man, with Hollowman over CFCF. Shout out to Hollowman too. We supposed to be putting something together and all that, man. Everything is in the making. I definitely chopped it up with him through the gram. So, you know, God's willing, that can play out. That'll be a good job. But look, listen, let me tell y'all this story, though. Before I get into it, I got to give y'all more context to this story on just how the whole situation played out and how a stressful moment, literally for, you know, that time of being over the F with him. And this, you know, this was from the district to the F, you know, over to quarantine. We was all on the same block. But, you know, just to give context to it, it's like this. So I had just came home, right? I come home, it was a drawing joint. Like, people from around my way know what I'm talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's this old head around my way, you know what I'm saying? Me and two of my guys, we go up in there, man. You know, old head had like $40,000-$50,000 worth of ratchets in there. Still do to this day, you dig what I'm saying? You know, we went in there to clean that joint up. Long story short, went down for that, right? So at this time, I was 18. So then I come home from that. That was my first time being booked as an adult. So then I come home from that, bro. Literally 45 days after that, I'm home on parole, in the way, still in the way. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not going. Well, I ain't gonna say I wasn't going too hard, because, you know, we was definitely tipping. But what I can say was, on this day, I was just in trap mode. So I was staying back. To Hollow with my cousin and all that, you know, so I had caught a taxi to my man crib, right? My man crib, I get over there, you know, all my folks over there. We got one of our homies over there. He on the run, you know what I'm saying? Homie already looking for him. He caught a double attempt out northeast, so, you know what I'm saying? He back Germantown chilling with us, laying low, but still drawing at the same time. So it's about 8 of my folks in this crib, you dig what I'm saying? So I catch the cab, get to the crib. You know, I got my ratchet and I had probably like 350 of Zona. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all that know, we talking probably around, this was what, between 07, 08. So, you know, it was all dimes, 15s. You know what I'm saying? So, that fire Zona before everybody was, you know, Team Loud. We used to have to get exotic from certain places, but that's a whole nother story, right? So I catch the cab, get over to my folks' crib. Got my ratchet and I got that, you know what I'm saying, gas on me. So, you know, I'm chopping it up with my folks and all that. So I'm about to go back chewing locusts, right? On my trap tip. At this time, you know, around the way, it was real crazy because, you know, it was a lot of stuff going on. So, you know, if you know, then you know. But, you know, so I'm about to go back chewing locusts, and I got the ratchet and my work on me. My man is walking with me. Bro, as soon as we walk down and we get like a block down, you know, just so happened somebody had just got hit right in that intersection. Remind you, when I get out the cab, I was probably at the crib like 15 minutes. I ain't heard nothing. We ain't heard nothing. We ain't heard no shots or nothing let off. So long story short, we walking down the block. Bro, the cops is drawn. They coming up one ways, driving slow. I'm telling my man, like, bro, do not even look in their direction. I always walk fast, so I was walking fast. I got this 357 snub on me, 6-shot joint, a Taurus black joint, and I got like 350 all dimes of Reggie, 15s joint stuff. I'm walking, bro. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm on parole. Only been home about 45 days. I already knew they was gonna probably hop out. And then at this time, I'm like, I wouldn't even be worried about the gas, but I just came home from a case dealing with ratchets, and now I got this joint on me. It's broad daylight. I was just trying to get to where I needed to get to, cause you know, we got places to put things. Let's just say it like that. So of course this happened. The joint at this time, I don't even know it's a shooting or nothing. and the cops are swarming, they hopping out, they drawing, they like just pulling up on curves and stuff like that. So they hop out on us, they pull right up on the curve coming towards us. Man, when they get out, my man took off. My man dogs him, but they on his heels. He run back to the crib that we just came from. Everybody in the crib get booked. The cop chasing me, bro. I'm not no runner. You know what I'm saying? I'm running around the car with the cop, bro, like 6 minutes. Like literally, like we playing manhunt or something. Like on what's that, next Friday when Day was getting chased and all that. So I'm running around the car and everything. I'm like, damn, dog, what you chasing me for? Remind you, I got this joint on me. I can't get rid of it to throw it, because by the time he chasing me around the car, now other cops starting to notice. I try to get up out of there. They booked me, long story short, so I'm sick. So now they like, we got a suspect to the shooting and all that. Long story short, they take us all down. They trying to, get us for the shooting or whatever. Then, they find out, like I said, my man was already on the run. They was looking for him for 2 Jones. They like, oh, y'all hot. So long story short, we all sick. You dig what I'm saying? But we was betting, because we was, when you go to we at the 35th at this time. So we just all yelling through the cells. I was probably in the hut with probably like 2 of my guys. We was in the district deep. So we all yelling. They had some of my homies on the other side. If y'all know, y'all ever been booked if y'all ever had to go to preliminary at the 35th, then y'all know the other side that they hold y'all on when y'all, when they bring you down for court for preliminary, it's like a different side of the 35th. But it was so many people in there, they had some of my guys on that side. So we yelling around the joint and all that. So it went from like a stressful joint to everything just changed once at this time what I'm about to tell y'all, because 2 of my homies ended up getting pointed out for the joint, and then they got my other man that was already down, a whole different, I guess they came and pulled him and took him to the roundhouse, my man that was already on the run for the 2 joints. So long story short, right, they calling us out to go to CFCF. They call your names, they opening up your hut. So as we getting out and we on our way up State Road, I look, I'm like, oh, that's Hollow. I'm like, damn, Hollowman, they got you as Hollowman. You know what I'm saying? Paper chases. He come out the joint. Remind you, this round 08. So, on top of, we gonna keep it a stack. You be fanned out when you see, certain people that you know what I'm saying, you listen to and had love for. We not gonna trip like Hollowman. He top 5 from that ever to me. You dig what I'm saying? Hollowman was very, very impactful. So to see him, going through the same situation that we was going through, it really had hit different, right? So we all get cuffed. Hollowman was thrown from the rip. He was chopping it up. He like, damn, I heard y'all, basically like y'all got a lot going on. You know what I'm talking about? So we in there, they take us, they put us in the back of the paddy wagon. So we getting all cuffed up. So from the rip, this was my second time on State Road, so I knew what time it was, because my first bed was a hard bed, like a hard bed. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? No body was sending me no bread, nothing. Like, I'm gonna keep it all the way in stack. Like, I didn't even understand how, because I was so used to placement, I didn't understand how to bed as an adult. Like, but you gotta have solid people that can send you at least a little 30 or something from time to time, because most of the people you with or you dealing with, you get booked and they used to you being, a draw box. They like, you ain't nobody rushing to send nothing or look out for you. But long story short, we in the back of the paddy wagon. So at this time, I'm a little seasoned. So I get, I'm taking bread and I'm tucking it. I ain't gonna blow up where I was tucking it at. You dig what I'm saying? But it definitely wasn't no boofing or nothing like that. I tell you that now. But I'm tucking it, right? So Hollowman like, yeah, I'm about to tuck some bread too, because quarantine until you can get on your block, it's a hard ride. So I already knew what I was going to do as soon as we hit quarantine. So my other man tucking bread, you know what I'm saying? So we all going up State Road. It's probably like me and probably like five of my guys. We all going up State Road. So we get up State Road, and then we going through the receive, and Hollowman telling us all these classic stories. He telling us stories about, experiences he had with Gil. Remind you, when you get to CFCF, you got to go through the whole receiving. It's like a circle. Like you go from this section, they go through your health and all that stuff. You could be down there for a day, you know what I'm saying? A day, like, depending on how crowded the jail is, bro, is how long you gonna be down there. And then at the end, after you take the shower and all that shower, that joint be cold as crack. After you do that, you get your phone call, and then they send you to your block. You know what I'm saying? They start sending people to their blocks. Just so happened, me, one of my homies, and Hollowman, we on the same block. So before we even get to the block, Hollowman, like, I hope I hope they let me rock out like they did last time. So I'm like, what happened last time? He like, man, listen, the COs had him battling people in the jail, bro. As soon as he came in there, he was battling people for phone time. He said he had at least about 10 to 12 phone times. He was cooking to everybody over CFCF on his last go up. And for those of you that don't know what phone time is, you get like a mandatory 15 minutes. At that time, I don't know if they changed now, but you got a mandatory 15 minutes. And if your people's had collect call, you could just blow all day. But I think you had to do like a half hour at a time. It was like a half hour and a hang up, but you can call immediately back. But other than that, you got like a automatic 15 minutes, and you might find a smoke up there, something like that don't go to the store and give him a little something, get a chicken on Sunday or a little something light for that phone time. Or sometimes you could just finesse somebody out of it, if they ain't using it. But long story short, he like, I was cooking people up here. The COs had him battling people in the jail for phone time. They was that much of fans, and that's how it was back then when you was a rapper. But Hollowman was, he was one of the bigger names on that DVD scene. So when I tell you, man, we got the quarantine, remind you, we all got bread. We get the quarantine, bro, his cell ain't get touched at all. Like, he could come in and out from the rip. We go in the first time we lock in, the jail locked in. So I'm on the top tier, Hollowman was on the bottom tier. He come walking out. He just walking through the day room. He, the CO was all joining him and everything, and I'm banging on the joint like, get my cell cracked, bro. I seen him say something to the CO. Obviously, he's like, yo, crack my man's cell, and pointed up to it. All I heard was buzz, like the CO buzzed that joint right open. From that time on, my cell was never closed, because they looking like, oh, that's your man. I'm like, yeah, Hollowman throw it, right? So now I'm just waiting for the kitchen workers to get on the block, because I already know what type of time it is. So the kitchen workers come, they bring the trays on the block. So I'm hollering at the CO, like, I'm like, I'm like, me and my man Hollowman over here. He like, damn, Hollowman over here. You know what I'm saying? So he see Hollowman and everything. I'm like, we trying to get some sticks, some caddies, like tuna, nigga, whatever you got type stuff. You know what I'm saying? We trying to rack up. So he like, how much y'all got? I'm like, off the rip, we got 50. That was the first joint. I know I was probably able to tuck. I tucked probably about, like, I'm gonna keep it a stack. It was probably like $180. I was able to, tuck. I ain't had but so much bread on me. I probably literally only had probably like, damn near like probably like 400 or something on me at the time. So I had tucked around like 180, and so I'm telling like, we got 50, like, we need sticks, and I'm like, let me get 3 caddies. We just buying stuff with cash, but the boy was thrilled. He like, all right, I got y'all. He go over, he grab his stuff. He come back for the next go around and all that. And then, he had looked out, because I remember I had got shower shoes and everything, because, in quarantine, you don't have none of that. Like, we was using cold packs and all that to take showers, over quarantine. So we over that joint now, we got sticks and everything. Now, when the block is closed, like I said, my hut is always open, Hollowman hut is always open. And I had one of my other homies that was on the block, but he wasn't. I think he was just upset that he had got booked in the first place, because he really ain't. He they ain't really had nothing on him. It's just that a couple of my homies, they had warrants, so they had to go up State Road anyway. So my man more so was sick that he was in the joint anyway. So that might even been his first time on State Road. So, you know, Hollowman come up to the hut and all that. He come up to my hut, the block locked down. When I tell you, me and him was in there burning that joint down, we burning it down. And, you know, to me, you know what I'm saying? It had just hit different because I'm like, you know, Hollowman really one of us. But not only did he blow it down, I'm like, H, what's up? Can you bless me with something? Like, when I tell you, bro, he was spitting stuff that was all, when I'm talking about hot as fish grease, bro, stuff nobody heard. It was nothing on them DVDs or nothing. At that time, I was, you know, everybody from Philly probably at one point in time rapped or tried to. I was, you know what I'm saying, on my trying to rap joint too. I'm in that joint spitting too. You know what I mean? I was talking heavy though, but he was like, damn, you know, I got a studio. He said, my studio, man, you need to come pull up and holler at me when you get out. I think it was out Nicetown or something at that time. But, you know, he was in there going off. And then, you know, he was just walking around in that joint doing what he wanted. But, you know, he had also, was like an older case. So, you know, he ended up going to see, what was his name? Fat Tony, for those of y'all that remember, over CFCF, the guy used to have to see if you had the detainers. He ended up going seeing Fat Tony, and his bail that he had, like back then, if you had your bail money, or if your bail was $5,000 and you had that on you, and your detainer had got lifted, you was right up out that joint. No different if you had the bail money with no detainer, you automatically, you know what I'm saying, I think they had to take you up State Road first or something like that, and then you could bail out. But eventually, you know, he had got his detainer lifted by Fat Tony and got discharged. And then this was probably like maybe like week 2 or something, or week, it probably was like a week. Cause you know, Fat Tony had certain days where he lifted, where you would go see if you can get your detainer lifted. And then once he left, everything had snapped. You know what I'm saying? I snapped back out of it. I'm like, man, it was lit. I'm like, man, but I got this goofy case. I got to fight and all that. So reality had kicked back in. So now I'm completely back in jail mode, and I'm just ready to, you know, get put on whatever block. I'm just ready to just go to my jail. I was like, hopefully they send me over the creek, because you can move around a lot over the creek. You can move around over the F too, depending on, you know, how much pull you got, or if you happen to be on the kitchen block or something like that. But, you know, it was a crazy story, man. And, you know, when you're dealing with rappers and stuff, they deal with so many people, a lot of stuff be blurs to them. But when you have, you know, those indirect experiences, you know, it'll be something that you never forget, man. But shout out to Hollowman. It's SV Twiz, the Hood Blogger. I just had to give y'all that story, man. It was a crazy story, man. But that's all I got.